Welcome to a journey through one of history's most intriguing mysteries. Today, we explore the legendary Knights Templars and their alleged secret connection to America centuries before Columbus ever set sail. Did these warrior monks, officially dissolved in 1312, actually discover the New World? Did they establish secret settlements? And most mysteriously of all, did they hide their legendary treasure somewhere in America? Let's uncover the truth behind the Knights Templars America. To understand their connection to America, we must first understand who the Knights Templars really were. Founded in 1119 by French knight Hugues de Payens, the poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon were initially 9 knights sworn to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. But they quickly became much more. Within decades, the Templars evolved into Europe's first international banking system, accumulating vast wealth and power. They owned land across Europe, operated their own fleet of ships, and answered only to the Pope himself. Their symbol, the red cross on a white background, became synonymous with military prowess, financial power, and mysterious knowledge. They were rumored to possess ancient secrets, including the location of the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant. But on Friday, October 13th, 1307, a date that gave us the superstition around Friday the 13th, King Philip IV of France ordered the arrest of all Templars. The official reason? Heresy and corruption. The real reason? Philip owed them massive debts he couldn't repay. By 1312, Pope Clement V officially dissolved the order. Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned at the stake in 1314. But here's where the mystery begins. Many Templars escaped, and with them, potentially, their legendary treasure. When the arrests began in 1307, not all Templars were caught. Historical records show that many knights, along with their ships and treasure, simply vanished. The Templar fleet, based primarily in La Rochelle, France, disappeared overnight. Some historians estimate that at least 18 ships loaded with knights, treasure, and ancient artifacts sailed into the Atlantic and were never seen again. Where did they go? Portugal provided safe haven for some Templars, who reformed as the Order of Christ. Scotland, under Robert the Bruce, refused to recognize the papal bull dissolving the order. But some researchers believe a group of Templars sailed much further west, across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas. This theory isn't as far-fetched as it might seem. The Templars had extensive maritime knowledge, advanced navigation techniques, and most importantly, they had detailed maps. Some researchers suggest they possessed ancient Phoenician and Viking navigation charts that showed routes to the Americas. Remember, the Vikings had already reached North America around 1083 centuries before the Templars' dissolution. The knowledge of America's existence may have been more widespread among certain circles than history traditionally teaches. If the Templars reached America, they would have left evidence. And according to some researchers, they did. The most famous piece of evidence is Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, built by the Sinclair family in the 15th century. The chapel contains intricate stone carvings that some researchers claim depict American plants, specifically corn and aloe vera, plants that weren't supposed to be known in Europe until after Columbus. But Scotland isn't America. The real evidence, according to Templar researchers, lies across the Atlantic in Nova Scotia, Canada. Here, we find the legendary money pit of Oak Island, a mystery that has captivated treasure hunters for over 200 years. The Oak Island money pit was first discovered in 1795 by a young man named Daniel McGinnis, who found a depression in the ground beneath a tree with sawn-off branches. When he and his friends began digging, they found layers of logs every 10 feet, along with strange markings and symbols. Despite centuries of excavation attempts costing millions of dollars, no one has reached the bottom of the pit. but many believe it contains the lost treasure of the Knights Templar. The Sinclair family connection is crucial here. Henry Sinclair, Earl of Orkney, allegedly made a voyage to North America in 1398, nearly a century before Columbus. The Sinclairs were known Templar supporters, and some researchers believe Henry was actually a Templar knight himself. In Westford, Massachusetts, there's a rock carving known as the Westford Knight, a weathered image that some claim depicts a 14th century knight in Templar regalia. Could this be evidence of Henry Sinclair's expedition? The evidence for Templar presence in America extends far beyond Oak Island and the Westford Knight. In Newport, Rhode Island, stands the mysterious Newport Tower, a stone structure that predates known European settlement of the area. While mainstream historians claim it's a colonial windmill, alternative researchers point to its unusual architecture that mirrors Templar churches in Europe. The Kensington runestone, discovered in Minnesota in 1898, tells the story of Norse explorers who reached the American heartland in 1362. While controversial, some researchers connect this expedition to the Templars, suggesting they used Norse allies for their American ventures. In New Mexico, mysterious petroglyphs near Los Alamos have been interpreted as containing Templar symbols. The crosses, geometric patterns, and heraldic designs seem out of place for Native American art of the period. But perhaps the most intriguing evidence lies in the urban landscape of Washington, D.C. itself. The city's layout, designed by Pierre L'Enfant, contains numerous geometric patterns and symbolic elements that researchers claim reflect Masonic and Templar influence. The Washington Monument, the pentagram formed by the street layout, and the numerous occult symbols throughout the capital have led some to suggest that America itself was founded as a new Atlantis, a continuation of the Templar dream of a perfect society. Many of America's founding fathers were Freemasons, and Freemasonry has long been connected to the Knights Templar. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and numerous other founders were active Masons who may have been carrying forward Templar ideals of religious tolerance, democratic governance, and individual liberty. The Great Seal of the United States, with its mysterious pyramid and all-seeing eye, contains symbolism that researchers trace back to Templar and ancient mystery school traditions. At the heart of the Templars' America theory lies their legendary treasure. What exactly was this treasure, and where might it be hidden? Historical records suggest the Templars accumulated vast wealth during their 200-year existence. This included not just gold and silver, but also ancient artifacts, religious relics, and most importantly, knowledge. Some researchers believe the Templars possessed the Ark of the Covenant, retrieved from beneath Solomon's temple during their time in Jerusalem. Others suggest they found ancient scrolls containing lost knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. The most popular theory places the treasure on Oak Island, where the famous money pit continues to defy all excavation attempts. The construction of the pit itself demonstrates advanced engineering knowledge. Whoever built it understood hydraulics, used flood tunnels connected to the ocean, and created multiple chamber levels. Recent high-tech explorations of Oak Island have revealed the presence of gold, silver, and lead deep underground, along with fragments of parchment and leather. Could this finally be proof of the Templar treasure? But Oak Island isn't the only candidate. Some researchers believe the treasure was split among multiple locations across North America. Possible sites include Vermont's Green Mountains, where strange stone chambers and astronomical alignments suggest ancient European construction. Pennsylvania's hills, where German immigrants reportedly found mysterious stone boxes containing gold coins and religious artifacts. The American Southwest, where Spanish conquistadors reported finding evidence of earlier European presence, including crosses and strange symbols. The treasure might not even be material wealth. Some researchers suggest the real treasure was knowledge, including maps of the New World ancient texts, and scientific discoveries that would later fuel the Renaissance and the Age of Exploration. This knowledge treasure may have been passed down through secret societies, eventually influencing the founding of America itself as a grand experiment in liberty and democracy. The influence of the Knights Templar on America may extend far beyond hidden treasures and ancient expeditions. Modern conspiracy theories often connect the Templars to powerful secret societies that allegedly control world events. These theories suggest that Templar descendants, working through organizations like the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and various banking institutions, continue to shape global politics and economics. In America, this allegedly manifests through the Federal Reserve System, which some claim operates on banking principles first developed by the Templars. The Bohemian Grove gatherings in California, where powerful elites meet in what some describe as modern mystery school rituals. Corporate symbols and logos that supposedly contain hidden Templar imagery. The layout and architecture of major American cities, from Washington, D.C. to Denver, which allegedly incorporates sacred geometry and occult symbolism. However, it's important to distinguish between historical research and modern conspiracy theories. While there may be legitimate historical connections between the Templars and early American settlement, many contemporary claims lack solid evidence. What we can say with certainty is that the ideals associated with the Knights Templar, religious tolerance, international commerce, and resistance to tyrannical authority, did influence the development of Western civilization and, by extension, American society. The Templar legacy can be seen in the principle of separation of church and state, which the Templars practiced centuries before it became an American founding principle. International banking and commerce systems that the Templars pioneered. The concept of a warrior monk class dedicated to protecting pilgrims and innocent people, which resonates in American military and law enforcement ideals. The idea of a society based on merit rather than birth, which became central to the American dream. So what should we make of all this evidence? Did the Knights Templar really reach America centuries before Columbus? The honest answer is that we don't know for certain. Much of the evidence is circumstantial, and many claims have been debunked by mainstream historians. The Newport Tower was likely built by colonial settlers, not medieval Templars. The Kensington runestone has been declared a modern hoax by many experts. The corn and aloe carvings at Rosslyn Chapel might actually represent other plants, or could have been added later. However, dismissing the entire theory might be premature. We know that the Templar fleet did disappear in 1307, and 18 ships is enough to carry a significant expedition. The Vikings did reach North America, proving such voyages were possible with medieval technology. The Templars had advanced maritime knowledge and potentially access to ancient navigation charts. Some of the stone structures in New England do predate known European settlement and show sophisticated construction techniques. The connections between Templar symbolism and early American institutions, while possibly coincidental, are numerous and intriguing. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Maybe small groups of former Templars did reach North America, established temporary settlements, and influenced later explorers and colonists. Maybe they didn't find vast gold deposits, but they did establish trade relationships with Native Americans or leave behind knowledge that aided later European expeditions. The real significance of the Templars' America theory might not be whether they physically reached the New World, but how their ideals and knowledge contributed to the eventual founding of American civilization. The story of the Knights Templars America remains one of history's most fascinating mysteries. Whether they actually set foot on American soil or not, their influence on the development of Western civilization, and by extension American society, is undeniable. From the principles of religious tolerance and democratic governance to the systems of international banking and commerce, the Templar legacy lives on in modern America. Their story reminds us that history is often more complex and interconnected than we might imagine. The search for Templar treasure continues today, with new expeditions to Oak Island and other sites using advanced technology to probe centuries-old mysteries. Perhaps someday we'll find definitive proof of their American presence. Until then, the Knights Templars America remains a compelling blend of historical fact, archaeological mystery, and human imagination, a reminder that the past still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. What do you think? Did the Knights Templar reach America? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more historical mysteries. The truth may be buried somewhere in the American soil, waiting for the right person to uncover it.